Super excited to be sharing this interview with you today with my good friend Carla that I recently met in Koh Phangan, Thailand, but she's now moved back to Europe, which I miss terribly. She's an awesome, inspiring raw vegan, but reverted back to high raw. She's doing the raw until dinner, just because the availability and the limitation she has on the fruit, but she's making it work and she's showing us how she's doing it, what she's eating, and why particularly she chose the raw vegan lifestyle. And as I've already said about the benefits, but we dig deeper. Super excited to be sharing this interview with you. Enjoy, watch right until the end, because there's lots of tips and nuggets that you can take away to make this lifestyle work for you. It's not an all or nothing, high raw, making that work wherever you are, and if possible, fully raw. But enjoy the whole journey and enjoy this interview. Welcome. We've got the amazing Carla on. We actually met in Thailand, but you're now back over in the Canary Islands, which
yes,
is just as paradise as Thailand. It's beautiful. I've been a few times over there. Yeah, so lucky. Amazing. So you're still in a better climate, not so cold.
Yeah, I know. It's the temperature is amazing right now, but I must say that when I arrived to Spain, I landed in Barcelona, and comparing 40 degrees in Bangkok versus 3 degrees or 5 degrees in Barcelona, and that day was hard. It was hard.
Yeah,
like reality shocked me. Canary Islands. I'm in the island of Tenerife, which is more greener, like more nature, And normally here we have a lot of clouds in the north of Tenerife, but hopefully those months are super good. We have sunny days, so that's amazing. I'm super glad that I have this weather right now.
Yeah, well, we're going to delve right into that on your story and how you've come over there and how we met. We'll discuss, because we met in Thailand.
Yes.
I'm still in Thailand. Yes. I live here. You went back, but we got to meet through the raw movement. Really, we got in touch.
Yes.
It just feels like
we went to this place. We went to this place to do breath control. In this yoga place that I forgot totally the name in Koh Phangan, but it was super nice place.
Yay.
And yes, and in that moment, like I was allowed into exploring new things in the island, because Koh Phangan is just such a beautiful place. And I just remember that you start talking, because like the people who guide the session wanted to know about our experience, and you said that because you were raw vegan, you could just get into your emotions and enjoy much fully everything, all the sensations that you had in your body. And it was like, wow, she said that she's raw vegan.
Yeah.
Another raw vegan here. And then I just discovered that your partner is also raw vegan. So it was like, wow, we have to hang out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I kind of forgot exactly how we met. But yeah, because it was such an intense session. Actually, it was a DMT breathwork session, and every time I go through these processes, psychedelics and things like that, I always bring out a lot of healing through tears. And that was when I was crying, and I was saying, and that I mentioned about, I seem to get deeper because of this lifestyle. I really connect, and I really surface a lot of deep feelings rather than suppression. And it was, although it was an intense experience, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, and that's how we connected, and then we caught up afterwards, wasn't it? And we spent some time together, which has been beautiful. And we actually did do an interview at the gorgeous beach. But
yes,
I didn't have these
it was amazing.
microphones. I wish we had these microphones, and then it would have been, I invested in some good quality. And if we did that, then the sound would have been good. But the sound was just not, sadly. It was too good of an interview to, I mean, I'm gutted, but it brings us back together again, But it was amazing.
That's good. But I'm gonna come back, that's for sure. And just let me know when you are in Europe, because we must to hang out here as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm so glad to meet
you. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Your past. What healing you've gone through. What challenges you've faced before moving towards being more vegan.
I always explain that on my website, on the programs, my Instagram. My journey started when kind of like I was a teenager. Like in this age, I think that every single teenager woman is worried about the weight, the appearance, how you look like, what you eat, eating healthy, not eating healthy. And because my main goal was losing weight, actually, so I came across the vegetarian diet. So I was just talking with my friends from school, and they were telling me, yeah, we remember you that you were choosing all the times the vegetarian options and everything. But when I moved to Barcelona to study back, I'm from Barcelona, but I was living in the Canary Island when I was a teenager. So I moved back, and my cousin was vegetarian at that moment, and she brought me to a Indian vegan restaurant, and it was like, wow, this is like delicious. I can cook things at home and still be, healthy. So I started with that. In my mind was the weight loss, but then I started watching more videos, more documentaries, and everything like makes sense to me, like how I can eat animals, and if I don't want to kill them, how I'm gonna eat them, right? So little by little I start not eating meat, then I stopped eating fish. And then when I became a vegetarian, I just discovered that I was gluten and lactose intolerant. Because for sure, when you are not eating meat and fish, all the people is like, no, but eat more like that, and more da da da. And yes, I started eating more bread and cheese and things like that. So yeah, I was feeling completely bloated, and it's when actually my digestive gut problems or issues start raising, and I didn't know what happened. So at the end, I ended going to the doctor and said, hey, you have to cut gluten, that's for sure, and dairy. So in this moment, like in these more or less years, I came across with the raw vegan diet. And at the beginning, when I saw this girl that I was following, she was a chef and she was doing raw vegan meals. I was like, wow, this is so extremist for me. Like, I will not be able to do it, but I know that maybe it's the healthiest diet in the world. And little by little, I went to some workshop about raw veganism, like how to make recipes, and everything makes sense to me in this moment. But honestly, it took time, more because the society that I have around me, my friends, my family, my last relationships, that I couldn't make the change right away. So let's say that I was mostly raw till 4. I was, start eliminating things from my diet, start incorporating foods for breakfast, salads for lunch, and then at night maybe I had something cooked. And when I moved to New York City, I was living there for 2 years. I became fully raw, and it's like maybe the worst climate that you can be fully raw. Yeah. But I just came across a lot of accounts like Fully Raw Christina and another people that was living in this place, and a lot of raw vegan options, not the same as back in Spain. So I was like, yeah, this is possible. Also, the supermarkets, they look amazing with a lot of organic things. Here in Spain, not at all. So for me, was easy. But I must say that in this process of being fully raw vegan, I had a lot of like anxiety to maintain my to be fully raw all the time. Like it was very cold. It was not my climate. It was snowing, and here in the Canary Island, it doesn't snow. So I struggled. It was really tough years. And that back when I was 25, 28, more or less. And what happened after that, I moved back to Spain. And somehow, I don't know, I got the second time in my life the Helicobacter pylori. So I thought, okay, I was feeling great in New York. I come back to Spain. I'm working in a work that I didn't like in a bank. I had so much stress. I was in a city that I really didn't like, and somehow I got Helicobacter pylori once. The first time it was when I was still not vegan. I was eating fish, so I got Helicobacter pylori the first time, and the second time I was fully vegan. No idea how I get Helicobacter pylori. It could be for cross-contamination, drinking in another glass, or some, contamination with another thing. And I really, really struggled. I took the medicines, which was my mistake, completely my mistake. And I stayed with a nutritionist that I told her, look, I'm vegan. I'm not going to eat nothing that is not vegan. So I stayed for 3 months, 3 months, just on a food map diet. And the only thing that I could eat is rice. Can you imagine that? I was eating just rice for 3 months. Rice milk, rice cook, rice crackers. Of course, my digestion was terrible. And for me, the worst moment was when they were introducing foods into my diet once again. And I got a lot of bloating again. So nothing changed. And I was so desperate that I contacted the raw vegan doctor. Actually, the name on Instagram is the raw vegan doctor, is Areli.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I'm desperate. I don't have money to pay you, but I just need help. I don't want to go to the doctor in Spain because maybe he or she will not help me. So please tell me what to do. And she was super nice, telling me, okay, now you have really inflamed belly, like gut. And what you have to do is really eat really ripe dates, bananas, potatoes. So I was eating that, especially more dates and bananas. And little by little, I started introducing things into my diet. So that's how I healed my gut flora the second time. And I must say that I'm not fully raw. Like since that experience, I allow myself to eat things that are vegan and gluten-free, of course. Without fat, it would be much, much nice, because I know that when I'm eating fat, it's completely a disaster. Normally, I try to keep my diet completely raw when I'm at home, and when I'm outside that I want, to socialize or meet friends or whatever, and they don't have options, I try to, order some steamed vegetables or something that is gluten-free totally. But if I must tell you the truth, recently, since I moved back to Europe, the quality of the fruits in Europe sucks in comparison with Thailand. Really sucks, really, really. And I'm thinking I'm living in paradise, because this is the Canary Islands, and we have bananas, we have avocados, we have papayas. But at night, recently, I was just adding some potatoes and maybe carrots, steamed carrots with my salads, and that make the difference of my day. I think that I'm just, kind of adjusting again to Europe, because when you're eating that good quality of fruits in Thailand, no pesticides, no chemics, no nothing, and you incorporate all these nutrients into your body, like you feel like you don't need nothing else, like you have a lot of energy. But here it's not the same. So I'm kind of like now experiencing this shock that from being in Thailand. So for this reason, I was just telling you, I'm going to move back again to Thailand at some point.
It does. It actually, you start to feel, you can only do your best. And when you're coming up with rubbish fruit that is tasteless, I understand why people don't go fully fruit and fully raw, especially when the fruit quality is not so good. And if it's tasteless and it's not enjoyable, it's difficult, it's challenging. So you got to do your best, but it does encourage you if you can make it work. And that was a big reason why I came over here and have that abundance. However, there were still transitional periods for me, even though we've got an abundance, even in the beginning phases of coming over, even raw until dinner for many years, I was still eating not so great, because even though the fruit was amazing. So we have to be aware of, I was like, okay, everyone thinks I'm in paradise, it should be totally easy, but I had a lot of emotional attachments to certain things. But it does help when you have that availability.
Totally. It's not what you eat is because of the emotions that you have inside. So I guess that coming back to Spain for me was not that easy. And I have a lot of emotions to deal with. I completely know that. So I guess that still having some cooked foods as a side with my salads is like a still comfort zone. So, but I'm happy that right now summertime is coming to Spain, so it's
Yeah.
super easy to eat fully raw. So this is like my story. Long story short, how I transition along
Yeah.
all the years. This is easy to explain. Like it looks like, oh, she did it so great. She had this problem, and then da, da, da. But right now I'm 33. I want to turn 33 in April. And when I started, I was 18.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a long period of time to discover myself, to know what I wanted, to value myself, to believe in what I was eating. Because, of course, here in Spain, all the people is drinking wine, eating jamón serrano, cheese, bread, and you know, this is not the perfect society, you know, like healthy society. But when you really have a problem and you want to be healthy, and you know, like the energy that you have after being raw vegan or vegan, that's amazing. People ask me like, how you have that much energy? I'm the same age as you, and I'm all the time feeling tired. And it's like, is that because of the diet? That's for sure. Like my intestine takes shorter period to digest the food, so that way I have more energy to do other things, and that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to remind yourself that, you know, where you've come from, and it is a journey. And this is what we have to consistently remind. Like when we feel like we're slipping back up, it's not really, because there's no destination. We're just improving a little. I like the compound effect. You know, there's a book called Compound Effect by Darren Hardy and Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's something I recommend to a lot of my clients. Is just that instead of all or nothing thinking, it's the little consistency every day, the little things that we're doing to improve, and it has a compound effect. So I feel if we are choosing, if we're in the moment, we're intentional. And like if you're eating your foods with much more love and compassion, you're choosing foods that you know are going to make you feel good. There may be times when you don't. It's that's self-love, and it's something that I'm seeing across with yourself, with others that are on this path. They're knowing that these foods are either going to take energy away from us or give us energy. Where do we want to be?
Yeah.
And we get more and more in tune with that. And it seems to be across the board that these raw foods, they give us the energy, and we have it's a total different vibe, isn't it? Well, I've noticed with raw vegans and others, and it's not until others see it thinking they feel good some, until they go, those that are not eating raw, until like it was me when I was eating more raw, having more raw days. I was doing the raw till dinner like yourself for many years, and that was working for me. I was like, I'm not going raw. As soon as I started incorporating more raw days, the energy, the clarity, everything, what people talk about is like, what? This makes sense. And and that's why we know deep down this is the ultimate, isn't it? It's the where we shine.
I told you back in the other interview that we did in the beach that I decided to be vegan because of the animals, and so seeing all these pictures and documentaries, and it's like, wow. And also, well, because of my health. But at the end, I decided to be raw vegan or fully raw vegan because of my health, because I knew that it was much better and I got good results than when I was just vegan. So,
yeah. What so even just on your path, what benefits have you seen? Not just a stable weight, you look amazing, even your skin.
Thank you.
When I met you, you were glowing, your eyes are white, your skin's incredible.
Yeah.
You look super young, you know, I would have said early 20s. I couldn't believe it. Still so young, but I thought he was like 22.
Thank you.
You look incredible. Your body is fabulous.
Thank you.
So
thank you. Well, that's because of yoga as well.
yeah. Yes, you're a big yoga advocate, which complements very well, doesn't it?
See, totally. So the things that I start looking throughout the years, and it's not just me who is telling me that. My family is telling me that my eyes right now, because I have here the light, but my eyes with the years came lighter. Like my eyes had really they were kind of like not black,
Darker.
darker, yes.
Yeah.
And right now they are more green. So that's the first difference. And yeah, I have more energy than before. Of course, I was eating back in the past, back in the days, and I was feeling bloated. And after feeling bloated, I didn't want to do anything. And right now I'm eating, and I'm not going to take a nap or a siesta, So I continue working and doing things. So that's a productivity that I have during the day. It's great. And I don't have to worry about the weight. I don't have to worry if I gain 1 pound or lose 1 pound, because I know that eating this way, I can be whatever I want in the world, and I'm not gonna gain weight. I'm gonna gain weight if I train my muscle, that's for sure, but I'm not gonna take fat into my diet, So I don't have to scale myself, and I know that for me that's it, that's safe. And actually, I'm nourishing my body. It's what my body needs in this moment. I'm not eating trash. I'm eating actually very low fat, and for me it's good. When I'm high carb, it's what I'm using.
Do you count calories? Do you count
No.
calories? No, you don't want. Yeah, I love that.
No, with my clients. With my clients, I always, because I did that at the beginning. I use chronometer just to make sure exactly what you're eating. Because look, this is my breakfast. It's like a fully bowl of one melon. People normally eat like something just like this with fruits.
I know.
So of course, at the beginning, you have to know the differences of what's this intake, the nutrient intake, and the calories, and exactly what you need. Because if you eat just 2 pieces, you're gonna be hungry in an hour. So that's for sure. So at the beginning, yes, I recommend to them to use chronometer, but then with the years, I just eat until I'm fully satisfied, and that's it. And also, it's just important what you're eating, but also what you're drinking. We don't drink. This is giving me not just nutrient value, but also water. This is water content. So maybe I drink less, but it's also important to drink water, to drink juices, to stay hydrated. That's the key of this diet, that we are being hydrated, and for this reason we look that shiny and amazing, and that's why.
Yeah. And I find with the calories, you can do that to just make sure you're getting enough. It's totally different when we're eating less denser foods. So these are much lighter. We can eat more of them, and we get full quicker. We have to get used to eating the volume to make sure that we are sustained. That was a tricky one for me in the beginning phases, because I was like, whoa, this is a lot, now you got to move through that. And I take my time. I eat as much as I want. And now it's over time, you start to realize that, these foods become more, we don't need as much because we're digesting. And that's another conversation, but we're digesting in a much easier without the
easy way.
Yeah. Did you have anything?
So basically.
Sorry.
So basically, I don't count calories. Is what I was saying. That basically, I don't count calories right anymore. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and I do agree with that, to make sure they're getting enough rather than not restricting. It's more about making sure you get enough through the day, because we can at the beginning not eat enough, and then we feel deprived or we're hungry all the time. Yeah, so that does definitely make sense. And then was there anything major health issues that you had before that you felt you've overcome? Like, I didn't realize until later, I'm still seeing things that I didn't realize. So such as like my periods, I have like less cramps, if any, especially if I've lowered my fat. And even in the whole foods, if my fats are lower a week before my periods, I don't get headaches, the cramps, they're very light. Did you notice anything that's come alight more so as you're going through this journey?
I never had like really bad periods. But what I realized that when I became vegan, my periods get shorter. and less painful, a little bit less painful. And it was a huge difference when I became raw vegan, because my periods was nothing, like just, a few days and not painful at all. What I noticed is the week, and that's a recommendation that I had from another raw vegan friend. The week before my period, I have to really go fat free, because otherwise I will have pain in my period. So if you go fat free during your period, and also someone tell me that that's the same as when you're pregnant, that it's really good to go fat free or go really low fat, to not experience that you want to vomit, or experience like that pain. So it's what I noticed. Also, I had more acne. Right now, when I had acne is when I'm feeling like right now a little bit of stress, or my period is coming, maybe some acne comes up, but it's not the same acne as I had back in the days. I wore like little things, in my skin. So those are the changes that I noticed.
Yeah, big notice. Yeah, that seems
and
to
for
be
sure my digestion. But for me, my digestion was the most important one. My hair. I had a short hair back in the days, like from here, and it was very, very difficult to make it longer. And right now, it's growing very like big. Well, I just shower the hair. I just clean my hair. Sorry, but it's getting more thick and beautiful. So so those are things that maybe you don't consider, but it's so important you are taking in.
Because you feel more confident. You start to feel rawlicious. You're like, your hair's glowing, growing like long. You're seeing all these benefits, and it keeps you on the path. And you start to see more and more as you go along. The little things that we come to accept, in the past, thinking that's just how it is. But no, we can. There's so many shifts and changes, and this is why I love interviewing others, just to see. And I'm seeing, I say, the common ones is the skin, which is the biggest organ of the body. If we're hydrating the skin with all these foods, the fruits, the higher content water, we're going to get more firm, glowing skin, whiter eyes. All these benefits seem to be across the board when we go raw or high raw. No, it's big difference. Amazing. So could you expand on, like, if there was, what was your real challenges and how you overcome them? So like when people are hungry, that was one of mine. I felt not satisfied. Like I'd transitioned to the raw until dinner, but even still there were times I struggled with being hungry and cravings. How did you overcome that? What was your steps and process mindset behind that?
I all the time have food in my bag. That's for sure. One, because if I go into a restaurant, maybe I cannot eat there totally, so I just make sure that I have dates or fruits or things like that. And when I feel hungry, I snack. I maybe between meals I snack, or I take more juices, or I make sure that I have food in my home, because it's when you don't have food, the right one, that you take bad options. Right now, I'm in my parents' house, and they are not eating vegan, so they have trash. They have chips. They have nuts and seeds with salt. They have things like could be appealing for the people and tasty, but this is not good for you. So I just make sure that when I'm in some place, first is do groceries, just, be sure that you have enough food in your apartment, in your place. And after that, it's like, okay, enjoy, but make sure that you have food. I don't think that it's also good to stress too much, like, oh, I need that, I need that. You need to be flexible in this process, especially when you're traveling. I've been traveling for 2 months now in Thailand and Vietnam. And in Vietnam, I was struggling a little bit more because the quality of the foods was not that good. But you need to be flexible. So I was trying to find the restaurant with your vegan options, or maybe if I couldn't eat the longan because it was not that good in Vietnam, so I was eating another fruit. So you have to adjust. Like the same as I'm here right now in the Canary Island, I have to adjust. So That's a good part of the healing process as well, not just physically, but also mentally to be strong.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I don't feel it's always about discipline. It's preparation, like you're saying,
Right.
having enough food in and snacking all the
Yeah.
time. That's what massively helped me. I didn't care how much I was eating. I just knew my body over time is going to adapt to these foods, these fruits. So I was doing the freely, the banana girl, stuffing all the bananas in. I was having these 10 banana, 15 banana
Yeah.
smoothies. I called it, I was smashing it in dates galore because I was just wanting, because I wanted other things. And I didn't want to be hungry. So in the initial phases, I was happy and understood that this was a process. I'm just going to consume as much as I want. And do you know what? That really helped my cravings for sweet stuff because I was very sweet, which most of us are. You know, we are fruit eaters.
Yeah.
And I just had to make sure that there was enough it, like you, just constantly have it in, have it about, because yeah, when you're living with others and when you're traveling, yeah, there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of temptations and a lot of
Yeah.
sometimes, especially I think as you move through the process, like for me now, if I don't eat, I don't eat. I'm not going to be worried if I'm going to starve. I don't have that mentality anymore. But back before, I'd be like panicking. So I'd make sure I'd get everything
Yeah.
in my head.
Panicking.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be hungry on the road, you know, and that is fine as long as we prep.
Yeah, I just want to add a thing, maybe for the people that they are not fruitarian or they are eating for lunch salty things that normally when they feel, because we are snacking on fruits, right, as well. But normally when they have cravings for sweets, it's because during the day they haven't been eating enough
No.
sugar, like good sugar, right? Like fruits. So when you're eating mostly sugar things like juicy and sweet things during the day, in the evening you don't have this. I remember before I came raw vegan that in the evening I have this craving for sweets. And that's what I'm saying. Like normally when you eat fruits during the day or smoothies or enough sweet things in the evening, what your body needs is healthy fats or some steamed things just to slow down your the activity level that you have and just go little by little to rest, to relax, to sleep. So every single time of the day, if you just look to the circadian rhythm, has
Yeah.
like a benefit. Like you need to take or intake different things around the day. So yeah, for me, eating this way mostly uses fruits, smoothies, and then at night some healthy fat or right now cooked things, so make me sleep better, basically. So this good.
I
If you
agree.
eat the salty things in the morning, then in the evening you want the sugar, and the sugar at night is not good, so you will not sleep properly. So, we have
Yeah.
to eat accordingly what it's our needs. Of course, when we are starting, we make mistakes and we have to be compassionate with ourselves and allow our body just to experience that. I'm also always telling that to my clients. Just experience by yourself. Don't trust me and put it into practice.
Yeah.
Try 1 week one thing and another week the other, and just check, compare.
Play around.
It's always it's always what I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree with that though about eating plenty of the fruit early, more hydrating. I mean, what works for me might not work for others, but I generally see a pattern with if we really fill up on the hydration fruits, a lot of fruits during the day. I did never get the sweet cravings. I get the salty, savory cravings later, and that's when I have my salads or my green juices. And I switched it and played around with it, and actually, I didn't feel as good. I felt okay, but I feel way better when the lighter foods are first in the day. So when you're breaking your
Yeah,
fast with higher water content fruits, and then heavier
yeah,
later down in the day when I'm starting to slow down. So I have a
totally.
client of mine that prefers the opposite. But I said, if that's working for you, if you want the heavier foods in the morning, and she gradually gets lighter throughout the day. And because it's raw, it's for her, it's working. Her digestion's
Yes,
pretty much flawless.
it's
She's
good.
been vegan for 8 years and very clean, but vegan in the sense that it's whole foods. And now all raw for the last 4, she was saying. So
Oh, that's good.
prefers the opposite, which if that works for her, that works for her. For me, I didn't see that working for, it doesn't work for me at the moment. So it's good to acknowledge that, and you say like experience it yourself and see, play around and experiment. This is what we're here for, to have fun and see how it digests and how digestion works differently. We've all got, different experiences with food. We've all got the same digestion, but we've got blockages, a lot of, many, especially on the standard, of constipated. We've got some challenges there. Good to acknowledge that.
That's true.
So what are you eating? What's sort of like an average day of you for what you eat?
So right now that I'm here in Spain, so I like to start my day with lemon water. That's something that I was missing so much in Asia. Sorry to tell you that, because in Asia there is limes, but it's not the same. It's like you take so much time for a lime. So right now I'm back with the lemons, and I like to start my day with lemon water. Then maybe I just add some herbal tea, or maybe the herbal tea before, and then the lemon water. When I want, like, I'm a little bit lazy of doing that, but when I have a lot of greens, I make green juice, or just some juice. Other times, maybe I just normally during the day I want juicy things. It could be a green juice, it could be melons, it could be orange juice with maybe some spirulina or something like that, green. So depending on the day, I have one mood or the other, right? And also depending on if I did a lot of yoga classes on that day or not. If I have my students like 2 classes in a row of speed yoga class, so I might go for the fruits, not for the juices, or for some smoothie. Let's say that this way. And then at lunch, I normally do or mono meals like papaya or smoothies or some another fruit that we have in season, mango. That could be amazing when we have it here. I miss mango so much in Thailand.
It's in season right now, and they're delicious. They're amazing right now.
I love the mangoes over there, and here we will not have them until September or the end of August. Can you imagine? Wow. So, and then maybe in the afternoon, I like to snack on dates. I love medjool dates, are my favorite. And when I want, for me, I have to still working and it's not time for dinner, or because I didn't eat that much at lunch or whatever, every day it's different. So I love to snack on dates or other dehydrated food. It could be, I don't know, dehydrated mangoes, so, things like that. And then for dinner, normally is a big salad, super big salad. I try to dinner at least 2 hours before to go to sleep, to make sure. Like if I'm eating something, cook 2 hours. If I'm eating something just raw, 1 hour. But normally I like to have dinner around 7, 8 this time. When I'm eating at Spanish time, I eat less. I might say that because I'm going to sleep really early. I'm an early bird. Since I came back from Thailand, I'm waking up around 5, 6 every day. And it's super good for me because I'm really productive at this moment. But that means that I have to have dinner early. So my salads normally have lettuce or some greens. It could be spinach, it could be lettuce, it could be kale, it could be other greens. Then I like to put some tomato or cucumber, something fruit, not a sweet fruit. Then sometimes I love to put avocado, or when I don't have avocado, I make a dressing with nuts or seeds. And recently I was just adding maybe some potatoes or steamed vegetables, like, I don't know, cauliflower, broccoli, something aside, like it don't have to be like the main thing. The main thing is a salad, but just something, to feel more warm, because I was feeling that the weather here at night was cold. So this warm thing was kind of helping me. So that's how I do it normally, and then I go to sleep. During the meals, I don't drink nothing. That's the key. I don't drink anything. Before I was drinking water or things like that, but I just realized that my digestion is not that good. So when I'm eating, And when I'm drinking things, I'm just drinking things.
I do that as well. I'm the same. I'm not mixing the two. That I find my
Yeah,
digestion's much better. Yeah. And how is
yeah,
your digestion
yeah.
with the cooked? Are you able? Do you find digestion's okay? You've got slick.
I just added since I came back, which it was like maybe 2 weeks ago. I must say that not all the days, but yeah, because I'm not adding into my digestion, to my diet, weird things. I'm not doing grains. I'm just
Yeah.
eating vegetables, which is the most similar thing, you know. And sometimes because I love it, maybe I can add some hummus. It's something that I love,
Yeah.
but I just make sure that I don't eat that much, and it's have to be fat free because otherwise my digestion will,
Yeah.
be terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the legumes is something that I believe that we don't digest that well. If it's smooth, it's gonna be much better because you're already processing the food when you blend the thing. But yeah, I just prefer to be vegetables that you can just warm them up, and that's it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, as you're so in tune with it, I feel you already know what you feel you're best on, and you do, like I say, you
yeah,
do your best with where you are, and if you're not getting the great
yeah.
quality fruits, yeah. And there's lots of ways. I mean, even with hummus, have you experimented doing the raw hummus? Have you done
I
that?
did, I did, but I must say that I digested worse than the normal hummus.
I
I
had that.
had a recipe. I had a recipe that has garbanzo beans. It's just with zucchini, which is good, but it's not hummus. It's like a raw vegan version. Let's see, beans free, but
Yeah,
the raw vegan version, oh, it's no. Maybe if you want to take it just as a side for a salad, I think that I don't have still the microbiota to digest that.
yeah,
But it's hard for me. Yeah, it's hard, and
yeah.
it's not that appealing because beans. It's not our natural food in the in the planet. Like
Yeah,
if
wouldn't
you
eat
smell
it.
the bean, you are not thinking like, I'm salivating
No.
because that. No, you're salivating with a mango, right? Not with a bean. So
Yeah,
yeah, everything makes sense. Like we preparing all these cook recipes, but with things, with oil, with salt, with the spices to make it more appealing. But we have to come back and think like if we are back in the nature, like it's simple, and what your body is asking you to eat, to absorb. So it's for sure fruits.
yeah. That's when we start to increase the palate and we get these cravings, these addictions because of too much stimulus, all these spices. And yeah, it gets a little bit too much for our system. And that's where we lose our control, where we bring back to simplicity. I'm like you, simplicity is best. Yes, we're not perfect,
Yeah.
even with, my gourmet raw vegan. I enjoy that.
Me too.
In
Me too.
Thailand,
Me
as you
too.
know, they've got great restaurants. The raw vegan restaurants are incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I do notice when you mix in the sugars, the fats together, the salts, it really takes a toll on our body. It's so much work to break down, and
Yeah.
simplicity is key. Yeah, variety. I say variety over time, not in one meal. And I really take that in most of like you feel you're the same. It's very simple, keep it clean as best as you can, and then that makes the cravings so much more tame and easier, and digestion easier, and you feel better.
Yeah.
It's good to acknowledge this though and realize, we do. I still do all the raw vegan gourmet at times, and I feel it. I definitely feel it.
And it's
I have
amazing, and we
something.
have to enjoy it. We have to enjoy it. It's not like, come on.
Experience it. Yeah, we enjoy it in the moment, but have the regret later. I find the cleaner you get, the more sensitive you are. We had some seaweed wraps a few weeks ago, and they were raw, but they were salty. And I don't know if it was definitely not MSG, but it was iodized salt, I think. And I was shaking. I was jittery. Never had
Wow.
that experience before with those. So I just feel there's something for me now. Salt, well, definitely salt. Now I have to stay away from salt. I did have bits in my diet, so I always feel salt for me would come from celery. So if I'm craving
Yeah.
something salty, I just use alternatives. And you learn about this. What's the alternatives? You know, if I'm craving something, I really like that. I did a lot of research. So is that what you do? Do you know, like if you're craving something, do you look at, like, did you ever do like what's the alternative? What I could have? What you feel is something?
At the beginning, I think that I was doing a lot of that. Like, hey,
Yeah.
why I'm feeling that right now? In the evening I want something sweet like chocolate or cakes, or it's
Yeah.
because you need the fruits in your
Yeah.
diet. And I must say that I just finished like last week a retreat that we had here in the Canary Island with my
Yeah.
friend Damian. He is an amazing chef. Really, he's super good. We were eating really very healthy juices in the morning with fruits, smoothies at lunch, and then dinner was amazing creations. But I must say, Las Creations has more fat intake than I normally do. Amazing ones. He created a vegan salmon with papaya. Can you imagine? Like, was really delicious. Like, wow,
Wow.
the best. I must say that his recipes is the best raw vegan food that I ever tried, and a lot of quantities. Like, we didn't want to leave it there because it was that good that it was a waste of food just leaving.
I bet.
So
Yeah.
I was eating more that I could handle, and not all the days I was doing good digestion. So it's important to not eat with your emotions, eat to listen your body, because that's really important. And for the reason that my digestion get a little bit, weird that week. So I again incorporate, these foods that are, just touching my stomach, like potatoes, like something warm, like bananas. And when it was a little bit inflamed, so you have to reduce inflammation and then back again to know what to eat. For
Yeah.
instance, back in the days, I was eating red peppers. And now I just realized that I don't digest good red peppers. For some reason, all the time I'm doing this bad digestion, like the red pepper comes back, that this acid reflux, yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens the same with garlic. So when I'm
Yeah.
eating garlic, it comes up and it's like, I don't think that my stomach right now, because it's very clean and sensitive. And
Yeah.
these foods are somehow very, very strong. And we need to make sure that when we are using these kinds of foods, it's because of something. Like, normally garlic is anti-parasite. So just use that when you need it in this moment, not every day. So here in Spain, we use garlic a lot, So just make sure that
Yeah.
when you eat the thing. So, and also every person is different, like for me, red pepper, I'm not digesting it well. And maybe in the future, I will digest it good. So it depends.
Yeah, it's just being in touch and how it feels, and that's why having simplicity allows you to be in touch with that. And it's interesting you say about the garlic, because it's something I'm on the fence with. I have many people that totally recommend garlic regularly, raw onion, raw garlic, but there
Oh.
are others like it's mucus forming, and I actually do feel drained when I eat it. I don't feel
Mm.
good. I'm tapping into, like, I feel more, we call it like groggy, foggy, just not,
Yeah,
yeah, just a bit more tired and not as
yeah,
efficient, I felt.
yeah.
So, yeah, play around with that, because I had the mindset that it was so, but I like what you've just said about take it in when you feels necessary. Do you know, maybe, yeah, look at it like if it has this parasitic. And
Yeah.
as well, I wanted to ask you about worms. Like especially eating raw foods. What's your take on deworming? Because I've heard about the papaya seeds, and it's something it's coming up regularly for me now. I'm thinking of eating, they say, a tablespoon a day, or just here and there of papaya seeds. Is there anything you would
I
recommend?
I do it. I do it. I don't eat all the seeds of the papaya, but when I'm eating papaya, I take some seeds, and
Take
also
some.
I'm doing smoothies to give this a little bit spicy flavor. I put maybe a spoon of seeds, and that's good. So you can mix banana, papaya, and papaya seeds, and wow, that
yeah,
would be incredible. Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yeah,
and
I'll do that.
reduce a little bit the sweet of the banana, so it balances a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, because I can imagine it's a bit bitter. Because I've heard some people just down them. That's what I do. I just shove them in, and I'm like, yeah, swing it down because they're not nice, especially when you start to crunch them. Like, oh, but in a smoothie that would and bananas do, yeah, kind of mask that taste. Oh, great! So for those that are transitioning, is there any, or even just any tips that you could give to encourage others to even go on this diet, or just take away what would be your sort of like takeaways for those?
So this maybe it's a perfect occasion to tell you about the program that I'm working with, because
Yeah,
when I started on this journey, normally we want to start eating raw vegan, and you don't have the keys, to start, like you don't know how to do it. And for me, it's very, very important when we're starting something new, first to clean our body. If you still have gluten, if you still have addictions, if you still have a little bit of, like not balanced digestion, constipation, if you have everything and you start putting fruits that is sugar and you have fat inside you, it's gonna be a bomb. It's gonna be, you're gonna explode, and you are gonna say that food is bad, and that's not true.
I know.
Um, During the last years, I was introducing two kinds of challenges in my Instagram account. That was the Monday Juice Feast and also the Fruit Friday. So in the Monday Juice Feast, we were just doing one fasting day with juices, fruits, vegetables, just to, for me, it was like the perfect way to end up the weekend, especially if you were eating things that you shouldn't be have eating. Yes, so that was the perfect way to, like, a detox, a reset. And then the Food Friday, it was like the perfect challenge to start the weekend, start with energy, clean everything and start fresh again. But what happened, I realized that with the weeks, with the years, when I was doing using, at the end, I needed, something more consistent. And when I was doing fruits, I needed the greens, because it's just fruits. It could be not balanced. So doing that every single week, I just realized that was not stable for everyone, not even for me. So I just created this 5 days detox program that is a combination of my two challenges, which is the Monday Juice Feast and the Fruit Friday. And it's just 5 days that we are going to eat tons of fruits. We're going to drink juices, vegetable juices from fruits. And it's going to be zero, like no fat at all. So in these 5 days, it's the part of the eating. And also we're going to have 5 days of fit yoga class, which is my specialty, and meditation. So after these 5 days, you will start introducing little by little the food that you want. You already had this challenge that you committed to do to eat healthy. So after that, you will choose which diet, healthy diet you want. Maybe you choose to be fully raw. Maybe you choose to be raw till 4. Maybe you choose to be plant-based, but eating, healthy way. So any diet that you choose, I think that everyone should do a detox just to reset our body, and this way absorb more the nutrients. Because when our stomach is clean, we will absorb better the things. So this challenge is the perfect way. Amazing. And also the recommendations is this program. I will have more recommendations about techniques, about how to start, in your house. Yes, it's gonna be amazing. I'm working super hard on it. And well, because my birthday is on April 10th, I will launch this program with a discount for that week. So maybe if people is interested in that, they can just contact me and I will explain further. But I'm pretty sure that on my website and also my Instagram account, I will, explain further.
Amazing. And I'll put all that in the description box as well for those that are interested and
Thank
want to
you.
find out more. And all your social
Thank
media
you.
as well, I'll put that in so they know where to find you
Thank
and
you.
ask questions. Yeah, you're doing incredible,
Thank you.
very inspiring. You know, it's a lot
Well,
of
you inspire me. You
oh,
inspire me. Yes, this woman, I saw this amazing Robina in Thailand, and I just remember that I was working for another company. Well, I lost my job, and I was already raw vegan, and I was already a yoga teacher. And thanks to you, and see what that you are working on your passion, and you are helping people. And I was like, I want to do that, as well. Like I don't want to really put my energy in something that it's not vibrating with me. I want to help people. I've been helping people so much, but I think that my message was not clear. So I just think back like, okay, what I have to give people in order to commit to that for themselves, to invest in themselves, and at the same time help them. So this program for me was super easy. Well, not easy because it has a lot of work behind with all the yoga classes, the meditation, the ebook, everything took a lot of time. But it was easy, the idea, because I already was doing that, and I was offering that to my followers and my clients. So for me, doing this program was like the perfect thing that could resonate with me.
yeah, it's amazing. And I feel when you follow your heart, you know,
Yeah,
it's just a much more enjoyable experience. Why waste our time on doing things that
yeah,
don't resonate? Yeah, and you've
yeah.
got so much to give, and you're shining so bright, and it's helping others, and you know, and we need more of these that are helping from the heart, more authentic, more loving, kindness, compassion, a compassionate diet. You know, I'm all for it. I want to encourage more, and that's why I bring them on the channel, because we've all got that same mission. And that's what with our audience here, it's not just about weight loss. Yeah, it's a great, you know, it's a byproduct of this lifestyle, but it's so much more. It's deeper. It's a
Totally.
lot more in rewarding, inspiring, and yeah, and I love the people we attract, like yourself, and just positivity, kindness, and love. We're all here on this sacred path that is genuine, that is so much
Totally.
from the heart. Yeah, and I'm so
Yeah.
grateful to have met you over there. All of all places, you know, it was a trip for me in Koh Phangan, one of my favorite places in Thailand,
Yeah.
and great to
Yeah,
meet you there.
I
And
decided to stay. I decided to stay more. I
yeah,
wanted to lose my ticket. I decided to stay more and get more inspired by another vegans just like you and another nomads that they are already working on what they love and living in where they want to live, or traveling the world. So I get so inspired because of that. And right now, even though I'm just in the beginning of my path, it's so regarding, and regarding like, yeah, I'm having so much love back. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, and this is what I find the traveling does. It opens up so much more. I think your heart and appreciation and what's possible. Like you start to meet. That's where I started to see more others on the path that are doing what they want to do and getting paid for it. You know, actually helping people on this level of not just looking good, but feeling their best selves. It's much more of a
totally.
deeper rewarding mission. And you see that through experience a lot through the traveling, and you've traveled
Mhm.
so much, and you get to meet so many. And I mean, most people now are working remotely, you know, and finding the lifestyles that truly are in alignment with who they really are, rather than succumbing to just what we've been told to do. And it just shows you what's possible, doesn't it?
Yes, totally. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so happy to have found you and to see that this lifestyle is possible. Like
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
it's a win-win.
Thank you
You
so
get
much for all
everything.
the advices that you gave me. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, you kind of like empower me in this moment of my life that I needed, and I had my fears. Like everyone has their own fears, but mine was to start shining, to know if I could handle the situation, of course, economically as well. So yeah, when
yeah,
you just invest in yourself and you believe in yourself, at the end of the road, it has to be something.
Yeah, it is. The raw really lifts that vibration and makes things much more enjoyable, and
Yeah.
shows, like, it just gives you this edge, doesn't it? It gives it. I talk about this edge that you get. It's like a superhuman power, when you really step into it. And we have other tools that you share, like you and your yoga practice. There's the meditation, which I incorporate. Meditation. There's a lot of other little tools that can just really catapult us into this superhuman, and I love it.
Yeah.
And the raw foods is that edge, that foundation that gives you just that. And it's, yeah, for me, it's the base of where I feel we will just grow and be huge, So, and yeah, it's amazing. And the people you meet on this journey, I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for you for coming onto my channel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
You're doing
Thank you.
amazing,
Thank you.
and I can't wait to connect with you again very soon.
Me too. Me too. It was a pleasure. And actually, I'm so enjoying so much by seeing your stories. Actually, my boyfriend is still in Thailand. He is gonna come to Phuket, and it was like, I wish I could be there, and meet you guys again.
Yeah, well, it'll happen. You've got your chapter right now, and then, yeah, wherever that will lead you, you'll be doing retreats, because you've just, you're doing so much. It's incredible.
Just in 2 months, or maybe less. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
You're on fire. Like I said, it gives you that edge. You are rocking it. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We always end with the be, feel, and stay Rawlicious saying. Happy to say that with me, Carla.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, be, feel, stay
Rawlicious. Okay.
And do a big kiss. And
thank you so much, guys, for listening to us, and thank you so much for having this opportunity to be in your channel.
Thank you so much.